Hey there, Oz.
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, what movie are we watching this week?
This week, we've got the movie marriage of Guess Who
Yeah,
meets Knives Out
definitely.
with a touch of Wayne's World
Okay.
and an odd parallel with Rocky Horror Picture Show. This week, we're watching Clue. Yeah. I mean, how many other movies are there where your car breaks down on a rainy night and you walk to a mansion hosted by Tim Curry?
That's true.
Which movie am I talking about?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Legend.
But yeah, it was. I was reading through some reviews looking for my outside insight, and someone had made that parallel of like, if I had a nickel for every time, and I'm like, you're not wrong. Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme. This month being board games theme.
Yes.
I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I'm the other host, Curtis.
And make sure first, let's give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers, Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colin K., and Lyle M. Thank you one and all for your patronage. And make sure you do all that stuff you're supposed to do, like subscribe, notification bell, whatever, or save all those clicks and just go to the website, let'stalkaboutflicks.com, where you can get all of the stuff we've ever created. It's all there.
The whole back catalog is there.
All of it, yes. And it's getting larger. This is episode 242.
We'll be at our bi-sesquicentennial soon.
Yes.
Just like America's. We almost timed it up just right.
Almost. And even more with timing, I was looking through my Facebook memories this morning, and 3 years ago today, we launched our Masters of the Universe episode.
How is that for coincidence? I didn't mention this pre-show, but this afternoon, Patreon subscriber Melissa L. And our daughter are going to see Masters of the Universe in the theater.
I'm very intrigued, as even though it is like completely bombed and flopped at the box office, I haven't read any bad reviews of it.
I think it's going to have legs. I think there will be. I'm not saying it's going to be a complete blockbuster.
No,
like a complete financial hit in the theaters, but I think it's one that's going to have. There's going to be a following there.
I chalk it up more to just hesitancy. I do. I think it's like, I don't know the lead.
Yeah.
I don't recognize him. And plus, just like, didn't you make a He-Man movie once and it kind of sucked? Like I could see a little bit of that, but no, I think there are times when Hollywood gets it right, and I hope this is one of those times. Because
I really hope so.
Another one, not super recent, but not too terribly long ago, was the Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie.
Yeah, that was fun too.
It was really good. It was a lot of fun.
Like ugly Sonic.
Yeah. And so just, you're going to get it right occasionally. And so I really hope that they get it right with Masters of the Universe. But just for the, we're almost at Simpsons level predictions and coincidences as, it was Masters of the Universe was 3 years ago. We dropped the episode, and now look, we must have inspired Hollywood to make one.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
Exactly. So, but today we're talking about Clue because there is no Masters of the Universe board game to my knowledge.
There should be.
There should be. I'm sure they probably packaged something together.
There is a video game, like a side scroller beat 'em up that's kind of intrigued me. Yeah, I recently I texted you about this last week. I got the Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which is a very, very simple but very fun, just side scrolling beat 'em up. And there is a Masters of the Universe side scroll beat 'em up. And again, that's my jam right there. I love me some let's go punch some guys games.
You definitely do, yeah. And there's a lot of them. Maybe not as much anymore as there used to be, but man, back in the Nintendo, Super Nintendo days, like everything was a Double Dragon clone.
Yeah, and I loved every one of them.
Yeah,
Streets of Rage,
River City Punks,
Final Fight,
good
stuff.
Those are all fun. Ninja Gaiden, That game was hard.
Oh God, yeah, Ninja Gaiden was really hard.
Games
I've
were
never
hard.
beaten that game.
No, those are a hard game. Like they're not even. They're fun, but they're
throw your controller at the screen.
Yeah, they're so discouraging that it's like I don't even want to try anymore. Like I'm just done. So, Clue.
Yes.
You've got the cast of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take care of the plot that connects jokes.
There is a lot to this movie because there's a lot of I took more notes, even though it's not even my week. I probably took more notes for this movie than I have for the last several we've done, just because there's so many character beats.
Oh yeah. Well, definitely chime in, as I found myself, as usual, when I'm watching a movie that I dearly love, getting so sucked in that I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Notes.
How long has the cook been dead for?
Yeah. Well, just those little things. I'm like, oh, and that happens when I get locked into a movie and I'm just enjoying the movie, and then I'm like, I'm working. It's supposed to be working here.
Yeah.
So please chime in with those beats because I don't have them.
Well, as far as who's in this, again, this is, as we mentioned, it's Board Game Movie Month.
Mm-hmm.
So we have your 6 main board game protagonists. And I think it's also important to mention this movie just when it's set, because I really think it helps the understanding of what they're doing. For sure. It's set in, was it New England in 1954?
Yeah, 54.
Yes. So we have Eileen Brennan as Mrs. Peacock, Madeline Kahn as Mrs. White, Christopher Floyd, of all people, as Professor Plum, Michael McKeon, who was hot off of Spinal Tap, as Mr. Green, the great Martin Mull as Colonel Mustard, and Lesley Ann Warren as Miss Scarlet. Your 6 traditional game characters from the board game Clue. Then we have Tim Curry, the aforementioned Tim Curry, as Wadsworth, the butler who's kind of holding everything together, literally and figuratively at times. We have in supporting roles, we have Colleen Camp, as well as Colleen Camp's cleavage as Yvette, which becomes a running joke in the movie.
Yes.
We have Lee Ving from Flashdance as Mr. Boddy. And then we also have some other kind of brief characters. We have Bill Henderson as the cop, Jane Weedlin of the Go-Go's as the singing telegram, Jeffrey Kramer as the motorist, Kelly Nakahara as the cook. We also have Howard Hessman, who also had a cameo in Spinal Tap, has a cameo here as... I'll say an evangelist, a door-to-door evangelist. Yeah. Also worth noting as who wrote this movie, John Landis, in the heart of John Landis's work in the 80s. He wrote this movie.
Yeah, and directed actually directorial debut of Jonathan Lynn, who went on to direct My Cousin Vinny, Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy, Sergeant Bilko with Steve Martin, Whole Nine Yards, which on the Whole 9 Yards is a lot more fun than it should have been with Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry.
Nuns on the Run.
Yeah, I skipped that one on purpose, but I mean, he worked with Eric Idle and Robbie Coltrane. So so it started. I mean, imagine that. Like your directorial debut is basically set up the camera and let this menagerie of comedians go.
And this movie did not do well at the box office.
No, not at all.
Has really come to define, a true cult following, just because it's so silly and so entertaining, and the performances are so awesome.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this movie is, I don't know if I've ever thought about where this would rank in my movie pantheon, but as far as rewatchability, this movie might be top 10 for me.
Yeah, it's and I've said it before. This is what I don't rank my favorites. Yeah. I just have more like bands and
like clusters.
And Clue is in my top 5 for sure. Yeah. Is it one that I watch all the time? No. I mean, I don't think that needs to be the necessity of a favorite movie. Have I seen Forrest Gump more than I've seen Clue? Forrest Gump's on TV a lot more than Clue is. But I guarantee you, if I'm flipping through channels and Clue's on and Forrest Gump's on,
you're watching.
I'm going
Clue.
to Clue. That's just,
of course you are.
So a lot of it is just, I won't call it accessibility as much as just the convenience of it's not ever on. So it is something that you got to like pull out and dust off and watch.
Deborah Hill produced this. Like,
I know, yeah,
big names behind it.
Deborah Hill, and I mentioned pre-show that we watched Adventures in Babysitting last night. Introduced it because Deborah Hill produced that one too.
Wow, I don't think I ever realized that.
Yeah, I didn't either. That was Chris Columbus's directorial debut was Adventures in Babysitting. So I saw Deborah Hill in the opening credits, which then a little bit into the movie before they all take off for Chicago. I'm watching it and I'm listening and I'm like, that sounds like the Halloween music. And it was. They were, you guys go watch a movie while I do X, Y, and Z. And the brother and sister are watching Halloween.
Of course they are.
And I caught it over the show. And I'm like, good for you, Deborah Hill.
Yeah. Staying in universe.
Yeah, good for you. So, but yeah, Deborah Hill produced, John Landis written.
Yeah.
You just wonder, like, why didn't this movie work?
Yeah, with all the talent.
Yeah, other than just the 80s were bonkers. Like, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, well, for one, it released December 13th of 85. It's not a Christmas movie.
True. Yeah. I wonder what it was up against.
It's not a big tentpole film.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever. But either way, it's my top 5. So I got the plot for this. Have you talked about Yeah, you did. You just went over the cast. I was listening. And so plot, here we go. Like you mentioned, 1954 New England. We get no intro other than Wadsworth is pulling up to a mansion. He's dressed in a tuxedo and we see a couple of like snarling Dobermans on chains that he chucks a hunk of meat and bone to pacify.
Gigantic bones he pulls out of his paper bag.
Yeah. And then reaches over and lengthens the chain of one of them, which really never comes back, but whatever. Lengthens the chain and then steps in dog poo.
Yeah.
So,
the first of the, because again, it's the first minute or two as you're getting through the credits, it's very, it's mysterious music.
Yes,
it's
atmospheric
it's dusk. The sun is setting. It's raining. There's lightning everywhere. And then he steps in dog poop.
Right. He knows he does. And so he goes in and, Yvette helps him at the door and she, takes a couple of sniffs, checks her shoes, and it's just this running gag of, man, this dog poo must have been awful smelling.
Odiferous.
A little bit. And so so we've kind of set the scene. Wadsworth is there. We meet Yvette, the cook. They're all just they're working.
Yeah.
And then Colonel Mustard pulls up. We see him driving and he pulls up and he enters. He just about introduces himself by name and is cut off. Like Wadsworth, like, nope. Colonel Mustard, like,
we're using aliases.
Everyone's got an alias. So everybody shows up. Everybody does their thing. Miss Scarlet's car breaks down, so Professor Plum picks her up along the way. And so everybody makes their way to the house. I think my favorite introduction was Mrs. White, who, of course, is dressed head to toe in black. Until she takes off her coat and opens it up, and it is just this brilliant white, like satin silk inside of her coat, which, as she's like, I'm Mrs. White, opens her coat up, and like there's the white.
And like the music swells.
Yeah. It's very fantastic and a lot of fun. So everybody shows up. Nobody knows each other by name, but you get quite a bit of side eye.
There's glance. Yeah, there's a lot of glancing as people recognize, like Mrs. White, the moment she sees a vet, there is definitely a nonverbal reaction there.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of side eye, a lot of keeping things under wraps. We still don't know why everybody's there. And they're taken to dinner. They're introduced to, we're waiting for Mr. Boddy to show up. Everybody have a seat, please. Here's some shark fin soup, to which Mrs. Peacock's like, oh, it's my favorite. Just
favorite soup. Yeah.
These are things you will not pick up your first watch.
No, there's so much to unpack.
So many layers to it. You are not like your first watch. Just watch this movie, enjoy it. Don't try to dissect it or figure anything out. because you're going to miss so much by trying to solve whatever mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they at dinner discover that they all are tied to the government somehow.
Yes, they all either work in Washington, D.C. or are associated with the government.
Yeah. Mrs. Peacock is the wife of a senator. And
she also can't stand silence either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Eileen Brennan is so... Growing up, Eileen Brennan was the one piece of the cast I did not recognize from anything else.
She's a little older than the others.
Yeah, and it took me several watches. It took me just aging and experiencing more film to appreciate Eileen, because I just didn't recognize Mrs. Peacock.
Yeah,
I recognized everyone else. And so so she's married to a senator. Mrs. White, her husband, she's the widow, but her husband was a nuclear physicist.
Just lies around on his back all day.
Yeah, it's five-time widow, Mrs. White. Professor Plum. I love this, that he works for the United Nations. What did the O stand for?
Was it the World Health Organization?
Yes, but he worked for the World Health Organization, more specifically for the United Nations, whatever. So you look at those acronyms and it spells out "you know who," which I thought was really clever.
Yeah, I don't think I ever picked up on that.
Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Green works for the State Department, and he's a closeted homosexual. To the point where it's assumed throughout the film. But it's also very obvious throughout the film. Again, Colonel Mustard, a colonel, Miss Scarlet, who, while she isn't directly tied to politics, she runs a brothel in D.C. and therefore has a lot of political clients.
Knows and has seen a lot of people come through.
Yes. And so that's kind of everyone's role is just through very subtle and very protected reveals. We all are tied to the government in some way, and we're all being blackmailed by Mr. Boddy.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Mr. Boddy shows up and concludes that that's what it is. You all are here. I've asked you all to be here. You're being, you're being blackmailed. To which, of course, understandably, they're all irate about it because nobody enjoys being blackmailed.
Mustard stands up and challenges him to a fight at one point.
It doesn't last long.
He gets
Three Stooges.
Yeah, it turns into Warner Brothers Three Stooges. He literally gets poked in the eyes.
It's stomped on his foot and falls. And so Wadsworth has also told everybody that the police are on their way.
Yeah,
they'll be about 45 minutes out. They're on their way to arrest Mr. Boddy. But then Boddy's like, "I've just exposed you all."
Yeah. Is this really what you want?
Yeah. So they relocate to the study where he presents them with their gifts.
Yes.
Again, let's not forget this is based on a board game. Clue. So they
Operation.
Exactly. Yeah. Anticipation. Oh, that was a terrible game. You ever play that game?
I don't think I've
the one where the board was on a timer, and if you didn't solve what you needed to solve in a certain amount of time, then everything just popped off the board.
Was that Perfection?
Yes, I just said the wrong title.
Okay.
Yeah, Perfection. I didn't like that game. That's where a lot of anxiety comes from, I'm sure.
Anticipation
Operation.
was the prototype.
Yeah,
where the board didn't shake, you just looked at it.
It was the prequel.
Yeah.
We're making this. So everybody gets a weapon as a gift: a candlestick, a rope, a lead pipe, a wrench, a revolver, and a dagger. Again, the 6 weapons of the board game. And somebody suggests, we need to kill Wadsworth.
Yeah.
Let's kill him, and we'll all just leave. And I'll continue blackmailing you, but you won't be exposed, and we'll all just move on. So light turns off. We hear a gunshot. Light turns on. Mr. Boddy's on the floor.
Yeah. Hasn't been shot, though.
No. They can't find a bullet hole, but he's dead. Professor Plum confirms it.
Because he's a doctor of psychiatry, so he is technically a medical doctor.
Yeah. So he knows that he checks that he's got no pulse. He's dead. So now the vibe shifts to, well, which one of us killed him, which again is the whole premise of the board game.
Who done it?
Who did it, and where, and with what? So this movie turns into this: one of us is a killer, and we need to figure out who. Yeah. So Wadsworth explains why he's there. I'm also being blackmailed by Mr. Boddy. And, we need to, it's just somebody confess that they killed him so that we could turn him over to the police when they arrive and we all go away. And of course, everyone's like, I didn't kill him.
Well, Wadsworth, his wife initially was the one being blackmailed because she was a socialist.
Gasps everywhere.
Peacock just shakes her head. Oh my God.
So disappointing. Oh, it's working in New York.
Yep.
Yeah. So they all realize, well, if none of us did it, there's other people in the house.
Yeah.
It must have been one of them.
Yeah.
So I bet it was the cook. So they all take off to the kitchen and they find the cook is also dead.
Yes.
She's been stabbed in the back with the dagger. The same dagger they just opened up.
Yeah. Just
in the
minutes
study.
Before. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's double mystery as, okay, we've got 2 dead bodies. We have no clue what's happening.
No clue what's happening.
Yeah. So they take off back to the study to kind of decompress because again, Yvette was, like they feel like keep your enemies close kind of thing.
Yeah.
If we're all together, we're safe. And they go back to the study and Mr. Boddy's body is missing. So,
so he wasn't dead.
He wasn't dead. They go and he comes stumbling out of, I think it was the bathroom, wasn't it?
Yeah. Peacock went to go powder her nose.
She got to powder her nose.
We met him? No, just to powder my nose.
Just powder my nose. Oh, there's so many jokes. And I'm not doing, just watch the movie, folks, because we would not talk about the plot if all we talked about was the jokes.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those that, if again, we would spend 3 hours just laughing at how hilarious this movie is.
Yeah, for sure. And they're not like setups. They're just deliveries.
Yeah. And half this movie wouldn't work if the cast wasn't so awesome.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And so it's everybody is dialed in. Everybody is given their A+ effort. And the jokes are all over the place, but they're so basic that they're in some ways they're very like dad joke-ish.
Well, some are dad jokes. Some are, like slapstick physical humor.
Some are slapstick. Yeah.
Yeah. Some are just cleverly written, very subtle.
Yep. But there's not any like gigantic comedic scenes.
Yeah, there's no Jay Leno doing stand up in front of a big brick.
Well, and like there was a movie that came out a few years ago, Blockers, with Lesley Ann and John Cena.
Oh yeah,
There's no like butt chugging beer to save the car. It's like there's no like.
There's no Will Ferrell streaking across the quad.
Exactly. It's like there isn't any like, let's transition to this thing because it's real funny. Like, no, this is just humor. It's just humor. So yeah, they discover Boddy's body, and he's been bashed over the head with a candlestick. He is dead now. Like he's legit dead.
He's actually dead
for real. Wadsworth, like, we got to lock these weapons up. Again, he's really taken hold of the lead of what to do here. So they gather up all the weapons, they put them in the cupboard, they lock it, and they're like, well, you've got the keys. Like, well, I'm safe if I got the key, but we're not safe.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
But I didn't do it. Well, how do we know that?
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, then let's go throw it outside. Like, let's just get rid of the key. They open the front door, they go to check out the key, and there's another motorist there. He's just, my car broke down. You got a phone I can use.
Yeah.
Which, of course, these people are all trying to solve a murder mystery.
Yes.
And we don't have room for another person. Like, we can't have this. So they kind of debrief of like, yes, you can use the phone in the lounge.
Yes. After like they all literally huddle up.
Yeah.
And like have one of those like whisper conversations.
Exactly. Yeah. So they direct him to the lounge. They lock the door behind him. And they actually revisit the front door and they chuck the key.
Mm-hmm. They chuck a key.
A key. Well, yeah. So they get rid of the key. So now we're as a group, the weapons are locked up. So we're safe there.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten rid of the key. Now we need to go find the murderer. Which it was always kind of sad of like, if you've accounted for everybody in the building, then, did you think you were going to uncover another person?
Yeah, I mean, they come to the conclusion where it's basically either someone's lying or there is another person who we have not seen that's somewhere in the house.
And so a very simple scene, but it's one that has always stuck with me. And it's just one of my favorites is the solution on how we're going to split up.
I love I'm going to pause for a moment and throw in one of the best jokes. It's already been established that Scarlet knows Mustard.
Yes.
And that Plum is a pervert.
Yeah, he wants to know Scarlet.
Yes, and that Green is gay.
Yeah.
And there's a great line where Yvette's like, I'm afraid at the dock. Won't someone go with me? And Mustard and Plum immediately say yes, while Green just goes, no.
No thanks.
They just keep coming left and right.
Everybody is so good in this movie. So Wadsworth has the idea. We're going to grab like your long matchsticks to like light a fireplace, and he chops them into different lengths. So each one has a pair, and then everyone draws from his hand, and they match up their matchsticks and match your partner. And this is a mansion. So one group is going to take the basement. Mm-hmm. One pair is going to take the main level. One pair is going to take the second level, and the third pair is going to take the attic.
Yeah,
all the way to the top, or a fourth pair, I suppose. So they're out doing their search. And we get cutaways of like very like Italian giallo, black glove, as somebody has grabbed the blackmail evidence and tossed it in the fire. Mm-hmm. Somebody, assuming the same person, unlocks the cupboard, which
using the key
threw the key out. Yeah. And they take the wrench and they sneak into the lounge and bash the motorist over the head with it. Kill the motorist. While they're searching, like I said, Plum and Yvette was it Plum? Plum and Yvette?
It was Plum and Peacock, and
that's right.
Green and Yvette. Yeah,
Green and Yvette. They get the attic, and we get this fun like neither wants to go first, so they decide to go together, and they're just like shoulder to shoulder trying to like. This is a single file passage up the stairs, and they are trying to go like tandem.
Yeah.
Just like sandwiching themselves against the walls, trying to get up there because they don't trust each other.
No.
Which is understandable. Mm-hmm. And White and Wadsworth take like the second level, and they're fumbling around in the dark. Yeah. And Mustard and Scarlet are on the main level. Mm-hmm. And again, that's the level we're most familiar with in the movie.
Yeah, that's where most of the movie takes place.
It's the board game, essentially. Yeah. And then our last two...
Plum and Peacock.
Plum and Peacock are in the basement. And so so we've seen our 8 survivors, quote-unquote survivors, spread out throughout the house when all this other stuff, the blackmail evidence burning... the motorist getting killed. Mustard and Scarlet on the main level, they find a secret passage.
Yep.
And they follow the secret passage, which dumps out into the lounge where they come across the motorist being dead. So they start screaming, which everybody in the house hears them. So everybody else comes fumbling down the stairs, like just running into it.
All 4, White, Wadsworth, Yvette, and Green, all literally run into each other at the same time.
They just pile up.
Like bowling pins falling over.
And so everybody reconvenes down on the main level where, again, we've locked the motorist in, so Plum and Scarlet are locked in, and Yvette just goes and grabs the gun out of the cabinet because it's open, and she comes in, she shoots the lock. She shoots the door open.
Yeah. Well, she initially trips over. Oh God, I forget. I think it was Wadsworth, who was on the ground.
Yeah,
and she fires a round into the ceiling, which nicks the
rope.
Oh,
that's right. That's right.
holding the one of the chandeliers.
Yeah. And so they get the door open, which then no one processed it in real time, but after they're free, they're like, wait a minute, like, why is
how'd you get the gun?
How'd you get the gun? Well, the cabinet was open. So now they're all mad at Wadsworth. You clearly threw out the wrong key.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I didn't. Maybe the murderer pickpocketed the cupboard key from me.
Yeah, when we were all huddled up when the motorist arrived.
And so just all of this finger pointing, and that's really the only way mysteries like this can work, is when nobody is an obvious suspect.
Yeah.
And so, so they're okay. Okay. Well, they've reconvened. It sucks the motorist is dead, but we don't have to worry about him anymore. Let's get back to our search. Yeah. And now there's another knock at the door.
Yeah.
Cop shows up. It's the cop that we believe has been called from 45 minutes ago. But it's not. He just happens to be driving through and he noticed an abandoned car.
Yep.
And can I use your phone? Which they know they've got Mr. Boddy in one room, and they know we've moved Boddy and the cook to the study, but we've got the lounge has got a dead body in it now. And so Wadsworth is like, yeah, you could use the phone in the lounge. Everyone screams at him, no, okay, no. Like, you can't do that. There's bodies in there. So he goes and he gets access to a phone. It was a library.
Well, Green took him on a fake tour of the couple other rooms that didn't have bodies in them.
Right. And that was kind of fun. I wished I wouldn't have watched Adventures in Babysitting last night, because now it's replaced
then Thor shows up.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's replaced the plot lineage of my most recent watch. So Green takes the cop on a tour because he's like, what are you guys doing? Is party? And he's like, yeah. So it's also fun how they've kind of created scenarios for the dead bodies to be doing something. White is making out with Mr. Boddy's dead body.
Yeah. She has his arm by the elbow and is moving it so it looks like he's caressing the back of her head.
Exactly. Mustard and the cook are making out over by a curtain with Miss Scarlet. No, not Scarlet. Peacock behind her, moving her arm. As Mustard is pulling her eyelids open, so it looks like she.
I love that.
So the cop's like, oh, these people are just having a good time. Nothing. Yeah. Of course, Green has no idea what he's about to walk into in any of these rooms, because he's like, what's going on in those two rooms? And that's where he comes across these. They're having a party. They're having a good time. Goes into another room where they've positioned the motorist with a bottle of alcohol in his hand. Of course, he's dead. As Mustard and Scarlet are quote unquote making out on a couch when the cop comes in, and he's like, "Oh, you better get this guy a ride home. He's drunk. He's dead drunk." Just
dead right.
Stupid, throwaway lines. So I need to use the phone. So they lock him in the library, and he immediately recognizes he's been locked in.
Yeah.
And he starts yelling at them from inside of all the things that he's going to arrest them for. And even yells out murder, which then Wadsworth immediately opens the door.
Yeah.
It's like, murder?
What do you mean murder?
And he's like, I just said it so you'd open the door. So he's back in there. He's on the phone, and the house gets a call from J. Edgar Hoover.
Again, it's 1954.
Yeah. So it gets a call from J. Edgar Hoover, which Wadsworth then, did I get this flipped around? Was the J. Edgar Hoover call before the tour? Is that why?
I know. I think it was. I think it was while he was locked in the library. The phone rings.
Yeah.
And then he starts yelling to let me out. You know, I'll book you for murder. And then they open the door and he's like, what's going on? Why would you lock me in? And why are you getting calls from J. Edgar Hoover?
Right. Which Wadsworth then goes and locks. He puts himself in the library and takes the call.
Yeah.
To which Green's like, you know, somebody. There's so many talking pieces that it doesn't matter. But they're like, as one of my favorites, you would think I would have everything memorized, but I'm not that kind of a favorite person. But he's like, why is J. Edgar Hoover on your phone? He's like, why not? He's on everyone else's. Like, good for all the wiretaps.
Yeah. That was a good line.
Yeah. And so they've got the cop distracted because he's back in the library making his phone call. So let's get back at it. Let's go back to our search. Somebody then, again, black ominous glove.
Yeah.
Somebody kills the electricity. And so while the lights are out, Yvette gets strangled by the news.
Yeah, she had tiptoed downstairs.
Yeah, we see her tiptoe downstairs.
Yeah.
And then she goes into like the billiard room and is like whispering in non-French accent to somebody. I think they recognized me or whatever. Noose gets thrown over her head. She gets choked out. A secret passageway opens up. Somebody comes and kills the cop with the lead pipe. Hangs up the phone before bashing him. And then we hear a knock at the door. The doorbell or whatever it was. Yeah. To where the door opens up and it's a singing telegram girl who just gets shot point blank.
Just boom, she's done.
Yeah, and just hits the ground. So yeah, that's where the rope, the pipe, and the revolver have also been taken from the cabinet. Well, the revolver we last saw with Yvette.
Yeah,
but it's been used. They flip the power back on. You know, everyone reconvenes again. They flip the power back on, and Wadsworth, because now our 7 now because Yvette's dead. Our 7 leads, our 6 guests and Wadsworth are, especially the 6 guests, are up in arms. Like, what's going on? What's happened? Who's done this? And Wadsworth is, I'll tell you what happened.
And like, that's when the jaunty music starts.
Yeah. So we get this really fun sprinting through the house.
Yeah, it's like Spaceballs, where they're recapping the entire movie.
Yes, recapping everything
in double time. Yeah.
Yes. So he's running them all around the house.
Literally running them around the house.
Literally. It gets to the point where, like, Mustard and Peacock get tired of running, so they just half court defense kind of approach.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna come running back, so I'm just not even gonna come to full court. And so he's recreating all the events of the night. We get, and then without missing a beat, he's like, and then there's a knock at the door, or another doorbell rings, and it's the evangelist.
Yeah.
And the evangelist is like, basically, have you found God or whatever?
Yeah.
And
Kingdom of Heaven is at hand.
Yeah, that's right. They send him packing. But he explains how everybody else was involved as well. The motorist, the cop, singing telegram girl.
Yeah. Cook and Yvette were Boddy's informants.
They were all informants, and they've all been connected to the guests, which...
But everybody who's died. Yeah.
Yeah, which we revealed, like Mustard revealed, the motorist, he was my driver in the war. Like, everybody's been recognized. The telegram...
Knew he was a war profiteer.
Yeah, the telegram girl was the one that Plum had an affair with. The cop was on Scarlett's payroll to keep everybody... So it's... Yeah. These aren't accidents. Everybody is there on purpose.
There's a great little moment where Mustard is like, well, Yvette was the link between Mrs. White's dead physicist's husband and my work on the fusion bomb. And Wadsworth is like speeded up.
Yeah.
And he's like nodding along annoyingly. Yeah. And then it cuts back to Mustard.
Oh, he's so proud.
And he was. I never noticed that before I watched it the last time. How proud he is that he figured that out himself.
It's such a fun grin on Martin Mull's face. He's so proud of himself. Like, that's right. I did it. And so Wadsworth goes into an explanation on how these murders occurred.
Yes.
And this is where this movie really splinters off and probably is a reason why it was a flop.
Yeah. And this is what it's, for better and for worse, famously or infamously, this is what it's known for.
Originally, this movie was released in 3 different versions in the theater.
Yeah.
With an A ending,
got random reels.
Yeah, an A ending, a B ending, and a C ending. And the theater, like if you looked in like the newspaper, it would tell you which ending it was, A, B, or C, but you didn't know what the ending was unless you went to see it. So you could collect viewings of this movie, like old McDonald's Happy Meal toys, like, and so the producers were hoping people would go see this movie 3 times, because really, like the last 12 minutes, you know, because each one of these 3 endings was roughly 12 to 15 minutes in length.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of, it was so like bizarre and such a, I don't want to call it a stunt, but it's just such a different way to.
I think it was a stunt. Yeah. It was a very aggressive tactic that
it's kind
failed.
of a choose your own adventure style endings. But when everything transported to home video, they just packaged all 3 endings onto the movie, because
with a little kind of title card in between them.
And I think that really helped, because the board game, there's so many potential, you know, solutions to the game that's why and that was very novel idea.
It was,
it didn't transcend media very well. So Wadsworth explains this is how it happened. You know, that in ending 1, Yvette murdered the cook and Mr. Boddy, as Miss Scarlet ordered her to do.
Yeah.
Scarlet then killed Yvette, as well as the motorist, the cop, and the singing telegram girl.
Yeah.
So Yvette and Scarlet are the murderers in this one.
Yep. Communism was just a red herring.
Yeah, it's always a red herring in this movie.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're like, and Scarlet, of course, is defending herself. I couldn't have done it. You know, well, then they're like, well, whoever has the revolver,
whoever has the gun
is. And so everyone empty out your purses, man, open your pockets. Well, Scarlet's got the gun.
Yeah.
So she was going to kill Wadsworth, and basically I'm going to kill Wadsworth and we all can just walk away.
Yeah.
He's the only one, like, we're no longer blackmailed. We're all good. And they have a fun math argument over how many bullets are left in the gun.
1 + 2 + 1 + 1, or 1 + 2 + 1 + 1, 1 + 1 + 2 + 1.
Right. Well, and it's like, she's saying there's a bullet left. Wadsworth's saying there's not. And then he's trying to tell her where the 6 bullets went.
Yeah.
And then they're arguing over the order that they were spent.
There was 1 in the study, 2 in the chandelier, 2 at the door.
No, there's only 1 in the chandelier. It's just
1
such
+ 1 + 2 + 1. No, it'd be 1 + 2 + 1 + 1.
It's so goofy. But obviously he disarms her as law enforcement comes running in, and the evangelist happens to be the chief of police.
Yes.
Wadsworth is an undercover FBI agent, which is why J. Edgar Hoover was calling him. And then it's kind of a proud dad moment. He's holding the revolver and pulls the trigger, and there was 1 more bullet in there.
Yeah.
Which the second chandelier falls, and again almost lands on Mustard for the second time in the movie.
I can't take any more scares.
So then the film stops.
Yeah.
And says, or how about this? Like, just showing like there's an alternative to what just happened. Excuse me. In this ending, Peacock killed everybody.
Yeah. She did it all.
This was to prevent being exposed for taking bribes for her husband as a senator.
Yep.
She's holding everybody at gunpoint, which Wadsworth, again, is like, you know what, everybody, like, she really did us a favor by taking out all the informants and the blackmailer.
Yeah.
So they start singing for She's a Jolly Good Fellow.
I love it. Miss White starts harmonizing.
Oh, yeah, they start harmonizing. I know. I love
I don't know if that was planned or not, but
it wouldn't surprise me if it was not. But yeah, they branch off and they start having their. It was beautiful. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
So she leaves. She's just going to get in the car and leave. And the evangelist steps out, and it's basically the same thing where
Kingdom of Heaven is at hand.
Yeah, she's the chief of police. They get her arrested. Wadsworth's still an FBI agent. Or here's what really happened.
And this is
and this is a real fun one, because where in ending 1, it really was Scarlet. as the mastermind, and an ending 2 as Peacock was the mastermind. This ending is probably the one that is furthest from possible in the game.
Yeah.
But it is the most fun. So everybody committed a murder except for Green in this last ending.
Yeah.
Peacock killed the cook. And it was revealed. This is probably the longest ending too.
Yeah. There's more to it. There's more layers.
To explain it.
Yeah.
And so and she gave, it was a dead giveaway at dinner when she said that, shark fin soup was her favorite, and monkey brains, although a delicacy in Cantonese cuisine. And then Green was like, that's what we ate, and exactly. So Peacock killed the cook. Professor Plum did kill Mr. Boddy, and then covered up. He
shot at him.
Yeah, he shot at Mr. Boddy, and then covered it up when he realized he was still alive. He's the one that checked the pulse. Mustard killed the motorist because he was his driver in the war and knew he was a war profiteer. Scarlet killed the cop. Mrs. White killed Yvette because, again, having an affair. And
I hated her so much. Flames on the side of my face, heaving.
Just making it up as she goes.
Yes.
Oh, she's so great. And Wadsworth killed the singing telegram girl. So everybody was guilty of murder except for Green. Wadsworth then reveals at gunpoint to everyone that I'm Mr. Boddy.
Yeah.
He was my butler. I've been the one blackmailing you.
Yeah.
That Plum killed the butler. Now, he didn't kill Mr. Boddy. And I'm going to continue blackmailing you. Like, that's just how it works. Mr. Green then pulls a revolver and shoots Wadsworth / Boddy.
Yeah.
And then he reveals he's the undercover FBI agent.
That call from J. Edgar Hoover was for him.
Yeah. And immediately drops the gay man persona.
Yes, the character he had been the Mr. Green character he'd been playing. Yeah.
I mean, and it's so well done. It's very much like Clark Kent Superman-esque.
Yeah.
Of what Michael McKean had pulled off here. He's now he walks a little taller, his shoulders are a little broader.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned you use the Clark Kent Superman analogy. He literally takes his glasses off right before he shoots Wadsworth / Boddy. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't making that connection, but you're all right. So reveals he's an FBI agent, and then and the evangelist is still the chief of police, and then the movie ends with him declaring, "I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife," just because the entire movie he's been gay.
Yes,
and
the character has been gay. Yeah,
and so now he's revealing that it's all just been a sham.
Yep,
and here we are, and that's cool.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
Shake, rattle, and roll as we get character reveals, with actor names on clue cards. And this movie's so great.
What was such a fun movie. And it just doesn't take itself seriously at all. And
But everybody does their job seriously.
Yeah,
which is so good.
Well, folks, at this point in the show, Oz and I give our own unique ratings to the film that we've been yapping about, in this case, 1985's Clue. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
This movie's getting a perfect 10 push-up bras from me.
for Colleen Camp.
Yeah.
Well, and I mentioned that during the character rundown, but one of the ongoing gags during the movie is that it's, again, she's pushed up and she's bouncing everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the characters notice. The male characters are constantly staring at her cleavage, but even the female characters do too sometimes.
Yeah, it's very noticeable.
Yes.
On purpose.
Yeah, to the point that it becomes funny, and that's the point of it.
It is funny.
Yeah.
But it's Colleen Camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had read in the trivia, you probably did too, that she showed up to our audition dressed that way. And basically that's what sold it, of there it is. There's our French maid.
We met him.
So 10 push-up bras for me is this.
There you go.
What are you giving it?
I'm going to go with 1 + 2 + 2 + 1. Or is it 1 + 1 + 2 + 1?
I love it.
Whatever you choose to do with that. So, folks, every week Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, my friend, what is your Outside Insight?
I have 3 short ones. I'm going to start
Perfect.
with the bad ones and then end with the 5-star.
Okay.
Again, all these come from Letterboxd. Half-star review from Cheese 2025 says, half star only because it gave me the scariest night of my life as a kid for some reason. Like, I was paralyzed and my dad had to sit in a chair next to me until I fell asleep. Like, well, don't blame the movie.
Okay.
Kumi Slays gives a half-star review and says, this movie's dumber than Scream. I wasted an hour and 38 minutes and 51 seconds of my life that I'll never get back.
Scream catching strays.
Dumber than Scream. And Ash ends this with a 5-star review. I got Ash is a female, I believe.
Yeah, that's the assumption.
I got to show my favorite film to my girlfriend. I will be rewatching this film more in the future, so be prepared. Anyways, still love the third ending, and my liking for Scarlett has increased. God, I love this film so much. Actually, I need it injected into my veins.
Distill it down.
Yeah. Yeah. So be prepared. Ash is going to watch this movie more often.
and do it while high.
Yeah. So that's my outside.
Love
What
it.
do you got?
I got one for you this week. As always, it comes from the Internet Movie Database. This one is a 1 out of 10, left in July of 2008 by Kev, with the subject line, "Screw Clue." Dear God, what's wrong with all you cult followers of this movie? Get it through your thick skulls. This movie blows. Period. Get a clue, people. Pun intended. Go watch a real movie and crawl out of whatever hole you live in. And screw this 10 lines of text thing, IMDb. I don't need that much to get my point across.
Screw Clue and screw you, IMDb.
You, IMDb. Even though I have a user account here that I'm using to talk about this movie that I hate.
I'm using your platform, but I don't like it.
and this is me demonstrating my 10 lines of text.
I will show you. Oh, well
Sorry,
done.
Kev. All right, folks. It is that point of the show you've all been waiting for. The Let's Talk About Flick signature segment, the 3, 2, 1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1, about this week's movie, Clue. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
I'm cheating a little bit with my goods as I've kind of packaged some together.
Oh, do it.
My first good is I really love the atmosphere of this movie and the score. The score to this film is so simple, but it's so catchy, and it just excites me. I hear that ting ting tinging along, and I was like, "Whew!" I love it.
That was a possibility for me as well.
So the atmosphere and the score is my first good. My second, I'm going to give a couple props to some talent. With a cast like this, Tim Curry still demanded and commanded attention in the film. This is an ensemble film, and he still kind of rose to the top as the one in charge. Mm-hmm. And Tim Curry is just. I'm so glad that I've been able to experience Tim Curry films in my life because yes, he's a character actor, but he's almost like a 4A kind of character actor. He's not going to lead a movie for you, but he's going to be the best character actor you have on set.
Yes, agreed. Well said.
And so this is part 1 of my second good, Tim Curry's command and Lesley Ann Warren. When I look at this cast, you've got people who have established themselves as comedians, and Lesley Ann Warren and Eileen Brennan to a degree kind of fall outside of that category. But Lesley Ann Warren really holds her own in this film.
Oh yeah, she does.
She is a presence as Scarlett to the point that I don't remember when I watched this, but I remember, little pervy me being like, I'm a big fan of Mrs. Scarlett. Like, just I was crushing on Lesley Ann Warren's Mrs. Scarlett.
Me too.
And so that's
probably didn't know why.
No, I didn't know why, other than just like she's curvy.
She's pretty.
and it's like, but that says a lot about her because Yvette was far curvier. But it was Lesley Ann Warren and her corset that stole it for me.
Well, and
So
how confident the character was.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
she
absolutely.
didn't back down from anybody.
No. And I loved it. And
and in the line of work that she does,
Mhm.
you get the feeling that character trait serves her well.
Yes. So that's my second good. And my third, we kind of mentioned it already, is just the rewatchability of this movie.
Yeah.
I want to go watch it again now. And
I know, right?
And that's the beauty of this film is there are so many gags and so many jokes that even though you know exactly how the movie's going to play out, it's still just funny. Like, it's just funny. So those are my three goods. My five goods packaged as three. So what do you got?
My first, again, and there were so many. I had close to 20 possibilities for this. My first one is honestly the time frame in which it happens. It was brilliant to set this movie in the backdrop of, the early 50s McCarthyism, and
McCarthyism.
the hunt for communists. We got that, communism was a red herring line a couple of times. Lesley Ann Warren even says, it's like, I'm an old school capitalist, in the Scarlet ending. Boddy thought they were all quote unquote un-American. And that just gave an extra edge to the movie. Like, this movie could have worked in any era, but putting it in that particular era, the early 50s, the backdrop of McCarthyism, you're still coming off World War II, where as a society, it was a very paranoid time in American history, and that paranoia carries over here. And
I was going to back that. It was like, everybody's already on a witch hunt. And now you've got a building full of people that actually have something to hide.
Yeah, so I thought that was just brilliant.
I agree.
Putting it,
I agree.
From a writing standpoint. My second good is just how silly this movie is. It's as you mentioned before, the characters take the actors take their performances seriously. And there's obviously like a plot line and people are getting killed and whatnot, but it still remains this silly movie. There's pratfalls, there's Three Stooges level physical comedy. Just some of the lines and the deliveries. This movie managed to be a murder mystery and the Three Stooges all at the same time. Which, so it just, and again, that's what sold me as a kid. And speaking of as a kid, my third good is, I probably watched this movie for the first time when I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. And, we recorded it, and it was a constant loop for me as a kid, to the point that I loved the physical humor so much that 9-year-old me would run around our TV room reenacting like the the Curry McKeon bits. Wadsworth would throw Green into the bathroom, or he'd push him down just to pick him back up to push him back down again.
Poor Aaron.
And I'm literally running around doing all of these bits, throwing myself on the floor, picking myself up only to drop me again. It was a workout, but it was just, I just have such stupid fond memories of how I watched this movie. So, and again, it's formative time. We've talked before about the things that influenced our personalities and our humor, and Clue was was kind of a proto version of something that really, really started to kind of hint at where my sense of humor was going.
Well stated. I agree. Like I said, I won't go as far to say I did the pratfalls and stuff, but yeah, this was a movie that I just got excited when it was on.
Yeah. And I still do.
And I did 8 or 9-year-old me understand 75% of the jokes? No. But it was still funny. Like I knew whatever was being done was funny.
Yeah. And the older we got, the more we got some of the jokes. Exactly. But like we knew it was funny. We didn't exactly know why.
Exactly. But I understood that it was humor, and I put me on a quest to figure out why it was funny.
Yeah. So those are my three goods. Oz, what are your two bads for Clue?
Leaving as Mr. Boddy.
That was going to be one of mine, but that's okay.
He's got a cool name, Leaving.
Yeah, he does have a cool name.
But other than that, that's all I got. I only have one bad.
Okay.
It's Mr. Boddy.
You didn't make assignment.
No, well, and it was one of those that I'm like, I enjoy this movie too much to search for a second bad. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to find something wrong with it. Mr. Boddy, even growing up, I wasn't a fan of that character. And it's like, I didn't really know why, other than just like, oh, he doesn't do a good job is why. So I'm glad that he was first one out.
Yeah. I would agree. That's the only really true bad as far as like the production part of the movie.
Other than that, I didn't have anything else. What about you?
I'm gonna go with, when I have a hard time finding bads for movies, I'll typically go with like in character. So like, guys like Plum is one of my bads. A guy who is this trained professional who abuses his power, abuses his privilege, abuses his position to fraternize and have inappropriate relationships with younger women. So,
right.
Yeah. And just how gross he was. Like he grabbed Miss Scarlett's, butt as they were walking into the, into the mansion, and like, just no. Yeah. So guys like Plum is my first bad. And then the other one is just Peacock. She's bad too. She's this overprivileged, senator's wife, can't keep her mouth closed because she's so used to being in control that, she has to fill the silence. Her reaction to Green admitting he's a homosexual, just the tongue click, and her reaction to Wadsworth's, revealing he has socialist friends. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How disgusted she was. So yeah, it's pretty much guys like Plum and people like Miss Peacock. The privilege like Miss Peacock are my two bads.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Good ones.
So Oz, what's your
Who would have been a better replacement for Lee Ving as Mr. Boddy?
Ooh, that is interesting. Again, thinking of that era.
Because you don't have to be funny, because his character was not. Like, I'm okay with how his character was written. I'm just curious who's a better choice in that period of time.
What about like a William Hurt?
Okay.
Somebody who can kind of play it straight but be a little menacing at the same time.
Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto.
It's just somebody, like you said, who could be kind of not.
Yul Brynner.
Keith David would have been a good one.
Oh, Keith David, he would have been menacing as Mr. Boddy.
Plus, being the only black man on the cast.
Yeah.
I
guess you could probably put that as another bad, honestly, if we wanted to. But
then again, it's Washington in the 50s.
Yeah,
you weren't going to see black anyway. I mean,
which is a bad also. But
but plus. Oh, I like Keith David. Bringing in a black male to blackmail people. Just another layer.
Almost too on the nose.
Just another, it's like Onyx Blackman and from Strangers.
Onyx Blackman.
I like Keith David would have been very menacing.
Yes,
but he's not like, he's not slimy. But it's like this role is not for a De Niro or a Pacino. It's.
If you wanted to go that route, you could.
You could.
If you go with like Michael Douglas walks in, and then he's dead 10 minutes later.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Almost like for the shock value of it,
because it's like with this, I don't want somebody's name to be on the top of the poster.
That's true.
For
people to resent it. Yeah, because like,
you bait and switched me.
You told me I was only 10 minutes of Patrick Duffy.
Yeah, I'm just trying maybe Powers Booth.
There you go, Powers Booth as Mr. Boddy. I could see that.
Joe Don Baker.
Joe
Baker. Like a Powers Booth or a Michael Ironside.
You're like, who are like the toughest of the Hollywood toughs?
But it's like those
Lee Marvin as Mr. Boddy.
but no, but just tough and menacing, but obviously human. So someone that these people are actually going to be afraid of. I just didn't get that from Lee Ving.
Charles Bronson as Mr. Boddy.
Chuck Norris as Mr. Boddy. But no, I could see Keith David. Yeah. Or, like I said, Powers Booth,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Ironside.
Michael Ironside. As long as he explodes somebody's head.
Yeah. Michael Ironside might be a little extreme for it. Yeah, but just curious, like who would have been a better Mr. Boddy? Again, not a big role.
Yeah.
But somebody recognizable enough, but not, I'm just curious.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm trying to think like who of other Landis movies that had already been made and who was in the cast, like Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd popped into my head too.
Yeah.
When you were saying Landis, Dan Aykroyd was one of the first ones to pop in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'd be too much for it though.
If he could restrain himself,
if he could, I
could see Aykroyd working in that.
If
that
he
role.
could pull it back,
Mm-hmm.
Because even what was the Bill Murray's done a couple of like serious flicks. I can't think of the name of it, but he was almost like a gangster in one. It doesn't matter what his name, but it's like, to where it's seeing, because again, you can't play it for comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got to play it straight. And therefore you have to have that dramatic side to you to play it straight. I'd give Aykroyd a shot.
Yeah. There we go. We agree on Dan Aykroyd as Mr. Boddy.
Yeah. That'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your
My so Wadsworth they collect all the weapons in this big mansion. They collect all the weapons that Boddy had given them and they lock them in this cupboard, and now we're safe. You're gonna tell me there's not another candlestick somewhere in this mansion? Well, when Boddy or Wadsworth walks into the kitchen 3 minutes in the movie, the cook is sharpening this gigantic cleaver and it holds it up to him. There's weapons everywhere,
all over the place
in this mansion. There might not be another gun.
Right.
But there's knives everywhere. There's candlesticks everywhere. Mustard at one point picks up a billiard stick.
Yeah.
Like Wadsworth uses that butcher knife to cut the lots. Miss White one time breaks a glass in frustration. Like there's weapons everywhere, but only the ones that Boddy brought are the ones that are actual threats.
Yeah. Well, those are board game weapons. But but no, you're right though. Like you wanted to get creative, you could make weapons out of all kinds of things.
Yeah. but only those ones were the lethal ones.
Only the gifted weapons.
Yeah. So that's my
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you. So that wraps up Clue. One of our personal favorites.
Yes.
And honestly, the reason why we came up with this month was to do Clue.
Yes, it was. And so what do we have next week?
Yeah, which brings us to to next week's movie. And we had a couple possibilities because there's a movie from a couple years ago that's set in the same board game that we decided not to do simply because it's longer than the one we picked. So for this movie, we're going to jump ahead 15 years from 1985 to the year 2000. And we're going to go with the Thora Birch led Dungeons and Dragons.
Thora Birch led.
Thora Birch, Jeremy Irons, Marlon Wayans, of all people.
How did Jeremy Irons get involved in this?
Oh, have you watched it yet?
No.
We have joked about some A-listers in the past giving hammy performances and things. This blows everything out of the water.
Wow.
This might be the literal biggest performance I have ever seen from an actor in anything.
Nice.
Like it's one of those, like, is this truly that awful, or has this gone beyond awful back to this is awesome? And I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if there is an answer.
So Jeremy Irons was valedictorian of his class of the Anthony Perkins or Anthony.
He went to the Tony Hopkins School of Monologues.
Nice. Okay.
So that is what you have to look forward to. I think was it a 3.7? I think this is on IMDb.
That sounds right. You said it was worth all 3.7 of it on screen.
So it's it's a lot to soak in.
Looking at the cast list, I see it's got Richard O'Brien, so we got another Rocky Horror Picture Show connection.
We do, yes. Yeah, Richard O'Brien is in there in a bit role. He's only there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But it's this movie is something. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, I'll say.
That's fair.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
That's fun. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this one. I'll see if I can't watch Clue with my son maybe I'll watch Clue with my son after I watch Dungeons and Dragons.
Reward him with Clue after you
go.
watch Dungeons and Dragons.
Social media wise, you guys can find us on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can listen to us as well. Or just check out the website, letstalkaboutflix.com, where you can check out all of our past catalog as well as blogs that we don't keep up on like we should. Guilty as charged. So
yeah, me too.
For another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you guys next week with Dungeons and Dragons.